Hello YouTube, it's Grace again, and today I'm going to be doing the makeup book tag. I'm not sure who created this tag, but the version that I'm going to be doing is Sarah over at Sarah without an H is channel, I think is what her username is, but I'll link her original video in the description below. As a quick note, I will not be doing the tag if there was ever created one for bronzer, and I will not be using Sarah's highlighter because those are products I don't personally use. Second point, I am not a makeup guru in any sense of the world, so if you think there's a better way of doing this, I will take your advice in the description below, I'm sure, but this is how I do it, and yeah, I'm not a makeup guru in the very least at all. Anyway, so let's get into it. So the first one is Primer, a book that left a lasting impression, and the book that I have chosen is Everything by Nicola Yoon. Quick note is that nearly all the products I'll be using are by Beauty Pie, and I should have a video reviewing their products up soon anyway. Well, the makeup products that I have received thus far from them. But yeah, so I chose Everything because it's a book that I personally really enjoyed, and I couldn't stop ranting and raving about it after I read it, and I'm still ranting and raving about it in this video now as an example anyway. The next one is pick your favourite book in a series, and I've chosen my favourite series for this. My favourite series is Vampire Academy, and I chose the book Shadow Kissed, which is the third book, and I love this book because I love the development in the relationships between the main characters. If you see that I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm looking at a mirror which is like right next to the camera, so yeah, that is what I'm looking at. So yeah, I love the development of the relationship within this book, and where it goes in this book as well, which I really enjoy. As I said, I'm not a beauty guru, so if you're thinking that I'm applying this wrong, sorry, but this is how I do it, and I really don't have much time to do makeup all the time, so when I do, I kind of want to do it as quick as possible. Hence, I don't really I see people do it for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and I'm like, nah. I want to be doing other things, so I really cannot be bothered with that. The next question is regarding concealer, and the question is, pick a character you wish you could get rid of. My answer is any of the love interests in this book, because to be honest, this series I don't really enjoy it that much, so yeah, the love interests are just irritating to me, and I wish they would just be gotten rid of ASAP, because they are hugely annoying to me, and I just don't want to deal with it at all. And I just think that the romance, but like the premise of the book could be wicked if it wasn't just so much emphasized upon like the romance. Like, it really could be spectacular if that part wasn't like sort of played up upon as much as it is, and I really wish it wasn't played on as much as it was. So yeah, the love interest I just want them to be getting rid of, because I don't really like any of them, I'm afraid to say. The next question I'm going to answer is blush. Pick a book that had a cringe-worthy romance. I'm choosing one of my guilty pleasure reads, which is To Marry a Prince by Sophie Page. This is not a YA book in the least. In fact, I think you could kind of count it as new adult, almost. But yeah, I enjoy it because, I mean, it's just something I read, like, say when I'm in the bath or whatever. I enjoy to read it then, and it's just sort of like a typical sort of princess story where it's like a non-royal marries a royal and marries above her position and everything. It's just something cringy that I kind of like to read when I'm in the mood for it. But yeah, it's a sort of mood thing for me to read. But I do love the romance in it. That's the one reason why I read it. I don't read it for its content. I don't read it for the way it's written. I just read it for the romance, which I enjoy more in it. So next I'm going to do powder. So some may do powder and then blush, but I personally prefer to do the blush first because I prefer to like rub it in with the liquids that I have first, which is my foundation and my concealer. But anyway, so the powder is pick your favourite... Oh. Pick your favourite book in a series. Is that again? Okay, maybe... Okay, I've already answered that question, I think. Yeah, so we're just going to ignore it. And instead... Maybe I accidentally copied it down twice when I wasn't concentrating. So I'm sorry if, like, I didn't get the question right there. But again, Shadow Kiss is my favourite book in that series. If you want another example of my favourite book in a series... my favourite book in the Harry Potter series is The Prisoner of Azkaban, so book 3. It seems like I like book 3s in series the most, but yeah, that was my favourite book in that series. So next question is eyebrows. A book you think everyone should read. The book I've chosen is Howl's Moving Castle by Levine Jones because I love this book. It's also my favourite movie, which is directed by Hayao Miyazaki. So I have 2 brow products I'm just going to point out. The first one is the Beauty Pie one. I've tried this. I think it's too dark for me, personally. My attitude may change in it. So I actually use the Revlon. But I have it for the brush. So I mainly just use the Beauty Pie product for the brush alone. And then I use the Revlon to fill in everything. And it comes out sort of like a pen sort of tip thing like that. And yeah, I just kind of like just fill in, just go over the shape of my eyebrows and basically give it some shape in like, maybe I did that poorly. Okay, one sec, sorry. But yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is my favourite book of that series, what I've read thus far, because I haven't actually got into that series that much because it's a companion series and I tend to like really avoid companion series. But I read the book because I love the film, and the book I just love is because it's so snarky. Like, I feel like each could stand on its own, and the film is my favourite film of all time, just as the book I think is one of my favourite books of all time as well, because I really enjoy it. It's something light to read, so I'm not really choosing a book based on something which I want somebody's views to be changed or whatever. I just want them to read it because I like it, so what can you do? The next question is eyeshadow, which is pick a book that has your favourite colours on the cover. My favourite colour is either blue or red, and there is a series I can think of, if you can see, that has these 2 colours so far as the books, and I just love the blend of colour in Gemini and Illumine. So yeah, that is my answer for that question. Now I have the natural eyeshadow palette from Beauty Pie, which is basically colours like that. Yeah, you can see yourself now on my iPad, which I'm filming on, and I just used a little brush like this. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with a sort of, I may go for the gold colour actually. Yeah. I'm just going to use a brush to apply it. Illumine is one of my favourite series of all time as well. It's certainly, I think, my favourite sci-fi read ever that I've read. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I like the fact that it's a different sort of media. Like, it may not be an original story, as a lot of people have said, but I like the originality in the way it's presented. So, yeah. That's why I really like Illumine, and I like the colours of the cover as well. It's all really, really well done, I think. I love the pictures in it, and I love how the story is basically told. Like, it takes a bit of concentration, I think, at times, but it is also a very light sort of read, something I read like, and I can just read it in a couple of hours and be like happy afterwards. Yeah. So yeah, that's eyeshadow. Next question was to do with, for a minute I was like, I couldn't find what I was looking for. It's eyeliner. And eyeliner is pick a dark and mysterious book. Now, I couldn't think, so I was just thinking over what I've read over the years. And I read the Hush Hush series a couple of years ago, and I thought that was kind of dark and mysterious at the time. So I'm just going to use that as my answer, because honestly, I cannot think of one off the top of my head right now of a book which was kind of like dark and mysterious. Sorry, I'm gonna like kind of be quiet as I apply this because it's kind of difficult for me at times, so just need a bit of focus. Yeah. So the Hush Hush series follows this sort of, I think it's like this angel who falls to earth and then meets this girl. It's kind of dark, it's kind of mysterious. It's really a good series, I think, for younger YA readers, I would say. Yeah, that was what I could think of off the top of my head. Another dark and mysterious, maybe. Like, I got rid of this series a while ago, but the House of Night series, at the beginning of it, when before they've just got written so many books for that series, which is kind of ridiculous, I would have said the House of Night series, but I kind of got lost after, I think it was like book 7 or book 8 in that series, so that was about as far as I enjoyed it there. Okay, I think that's the best I'm going to get my eyeliner currently. Yikes. Anyway. Okay, I may have to fix that later. But because we're on a kind of time restraint in this video. Next is Mascara. Mascara's pick a long book. Now, I didn't pick a book which was long necessarily based on page number, but I picked a long book on how long it took me to read this book, because I picked Pride and Prejudice and Zombies by Jane Austen and Seth Grahame-Smith. This book took me about 3 months to read. It was ridiculously long, because I read the start of it was really, really fast paced. I really enjoyed that. And then it got to the middle, and the middle took me weeks to read. Like, it was kind of ridiculous how long it took me to read that book, because the middle was just crazily long to me. Like, the pace was just so slow. There was nothing driving it at all to make it faster. So it was a bit like, oh my god, like, what do I do with this story? And I just kept putting it down and reading other things, because there were just things which were more interesting than it. And then it got to like the last 100 pages, and that sped up so quickly. And out of all the book, I usually read the last 100 pages, like reread it again, because I enjoyed that part the most out of the entire novel. Like, it's a great story, and I enjoy the film a lot, but the book pace for me was just so long, and it took me so long to get through and read it, that it was just a bit ridiculous. So, yeah. Anyway, that was Mascara. We're almost done. And the last thing is lipstick. Your favourite book kiss. And I'm going to have to go with Vampire Academy, which has actually my favourite sort of smutty moment in the entire series. So, yeah. That's the moment that, like, the main character finally gets, like, the romance, which I was just gunning for. And yeah, that finally happens, and I'm so happy about it. So yeah, like, it was such a relief to have that moment in the book. So I think that is one of my favourite book kisses, in all honesty. Sorry, I got to focus on the lipstick, because if I don't, then I will go over. And yeah, there you have it. That is my makeup routine. I am not an expert in makeup at all, so yeah. And this is the end of the video. If you like the video, like, also subscribe and ring the bell for if you want to be notified for new videos. I don't know who I tag, so if I tag anyone, it will be in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video and you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. So, goodbye!